All right, today I'm going to read for you The Berenstain Bears Get Stage Fright. Let's jump in here. All right, here we go. Front page here. The Berenstain Bears Get Stage Fright. See, there's the dad holding a sign and the mom holding a sign and the little daughter and the little son. All right, first page here. On the way to school one day, Sister Bear, Brother Bear, and Cousin Freddie got to talking about an important subject, their teachers. Teacher Bob is tough, but fair, said Freddie, who was in the same class as Brother. Brother agreed. How about your teacher, he asked Sister. Is she easy or hard? Teacher Jane isn't easy or hard, Sister said. She's good. See them talking right there as they're walking on their way to school? And there's some other kids over here going to school as well. Then the bell rang and the Cubs were ready for their school day. And so there they are going into school. You see them going up into the school right there. The reason Sister thought Teacher Jane was good was that she made things interesting. When they were learning to add and subtract, Teacher Jane set up a pretend store with play money and a toy cash register. That sounds like fun. It helped the Cubs learn, and it was fun. See right there? She's got the store set up and everything, and there they are playing and learning, and that must be Teacher Jane right there. When the class was studying words and ideas, they made posters, and that helped them learn too. Here's some of the posters they made. You see that? Bigger and smaller, and then over here, different ones too. Very interesting. Small, smaller, smallest. All right. And then big, bigger, and biggest. Good job. And sometimes in reading class, instead of just reading from their books, they acted out their stories. That would be fun. That's what they were doing when Grizzlestiltskin, the story of the funny old elf bear who was sure that nobody could ever guess his name. Sister Bear was acting out the part of the miller's daughter, who became a princess and had to spin straw into gold. They had come to the part where the princess has one last chance to guess the elf bear's name. You see them right there? They're reading the story. That's Sister Bear right there. And that's Grizzlestiltskin right there. What a name, huh? But she couldn't guess her, could she? We'll see. Ah, good sir, read Sister in a loud, clear voice. We've come to the end of our guessing game because I say Grizzlestiltskin is your name. And that's when Grizzlestiltskin flies into a rage and disappears in a puff of smoke. And the princess lives happily ever after. You see, she's reading and talking. And then down here, there's Grizzlestiltskin. He's getting so mad, and he gets a puff of smoke, and he goes away. That was very good, class, said Teacher Jane. So good, in fact, that I have a surprise for you. I'm in charge of the school play this year. And guess what? The play is going to be, you guessed it, Grizzlestiltskin. And some of you will have parts in it. See, there's the teacher making that announcement right there. Then she gave out the parts, and one of them had Sister's name on it. What fun! What excitement! Sister was going to be in the school play on the auditorium stage with scenery and costumes and makeup and everything. You see, there's Sister right there. She's so excited she's going to be in the school play. All right. It turned out that Brother and Freddie had gotten parts too. Oh, that's kind of exciting. Brother was going to be the woods bear to find out the elf bear's name, and Freddie was going to play the part of Grizzlestiltskin himself. Who are you going to be? Freddie asked Sister. When Sister, who hadn't even thought to look, turned her part, it said, the princess. Wow, said Brother and Freddie. That's the main part. And see them all talking right there? Brother and Freddie, This must be Brother, and that's probably Freddie, who's going to be Grizzly Stiltskin. And there's Sister Bear, who's going to be the princess. Wow. Well, how about that, said Papa Bear when he heard the news. My little princess is going to play the part of a princess. Say, we better tell Grizzly Gramps and Gram, and Uncle Willie and Aunt Min. Calm yourself, dear, said Mama, taking Papa aside. Sister has a lot of work ahead of her, and she doesn't need a lot of fuss and excitement. Said Papa. You're absolutely right, my dear. See them right there talking? They're very excited about the parts they got, but they're also kind of trying to stay calm so Sister Bear doesn't get all nervous. Because you don't want to get too nervous, because it's a big thing to be able to be in a play like that. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, why all the fuss, said Brother. It's just a dopey old school play. I already know my whole part. Hear me, O princess. I was deep in the forest, and this is what I heard. The princess's firstborn shall be mine. If she had to guess 9 times 9, she could not win this guessing games, because Grizzly Stiltskin is my name. See, he said, nothing to it. See him right there all bragging. But Sister wasn't so sure. She was beginning to feel a little nervous about the whole thing. Look at her over here. She looks nervous, doesn't she? Mama Bear and Papa Bear, they look okay, but Sister looks a little nervous there. All right. The next day, when Teacher Jane asked Sister to take a message to the office, Sister decided to take a shortcut through the auditorium. She'd been in the auditorium many times, of course, but she'd never been on the stage. She climbed the steps and looked out over the rows of seats. It looked enormous. It does look pretty big, doesn't it? And there's Sister Bear standing in front and all of the seats out there. You could see where she might be nervous. Then she imagined all the seats filled with everybody in the school, and Grizzly Gramps, and Gran, and Uncle Willie, and Aunt Mim. It even looked more enormous when she thought about it that way. See them all sitting there? Yeah, that's a lot. Why the long face? Asked Brother on the way home from school. Sister told him she was worried about the play. Relax, he said. There's nothing to it. It's a piece of cake. Why, I can do my part standing on my head. And that's what he does. He stands on his head and reads his part again. Hear me, O princess. He's being such a funny guy. Hanging from a branch, he says. I can do it from inside a log. So he can do it from hanging from a branch or from inside a log. Cousin Freddie and the gang thought Brother was pretty funny, but Sister didn't even smile. She didn't think it was very funny at all. He has a little tiny part. She has a big part. That evening, Sister's worries all came out. Reading a part in class just isn't the same as getting up in front of the whole school, and I have to learn it all by heart, she wailed. How am I ever going to do it? See, she's out talking to her mom right there. She's saying, Mama Bear, how am I going to do it? The same way you learn anything else, Mama, said Mama, line by line, page by page. Papa and I will help you too. See, there she is. And Mama's getting ready to try on her new dress. And Sister Bear is standing up there to get their dress tried on, but she's getting assured Mama and Papa's going to help her memorize all her lines. Besides, you already know lots of things by heart. You know the alphabet, you know dozens of songs and rhymes, and you know the Pledge of Allegiance. Why, I bet you know enough things by heart to fill a book. And you already know the story. All you have to do is learn your part and practice. And that's what Sister Bear did. She learned her part line by line, page by page. And there she is, down here, getting all of that put together, line by line and page by page. She's got her new dress on there. And now she's learning her part, line by line, page by page. And she practiced. And she practiced in her room in front of all of her toys. See her there in front of all of her toys? She's saying her part in front of all of her toys to get used to saying it. That's good. And she practiced in the field in front of her forest friends. And so there she is now in the forest, talking to all of the rest of the forest friends and saying her part. She practiced in front of Mama and Papa. See, there she is practicing in front of Mama and Papa. And that was wonderful, sweetie, said Papa, applauding. Letter perfect. He did. She thought she did wonderful. And see, she's looking a little more confident, isn't she? And look, Mama's got a princess dress ready for her. Yes, sighed Sister, but practicing in front of my toys and forest friends and you and Mama just isn't the same as getting up on the stage in front of the whole school. How do I practice for that? Sweetie, said Mama, there are some things in life you can't practice for. You just got to do them. And that's Mama telling her right there. And that's so true. You can practice and practice to get all prepared, but when it comes to doing it, sometimes you just have to do it. But what if I get nervous and scared, she asked. Oh, but you will, said Mama. I will? She said. Of course, said Mama. Everybody gets nervous when they have to perform in front of an audience, even famous opera singers and star athletes. But if you know it's natural and you expect to be a little nervous, it won't really bother you that much and you'll do yourself proud. And Mama's right. Everybody gets nervous. Everybody gets nervous. But if you know it's natural and you can expect it, then you won't really be bothered that much. And there she is talking to her. And look at the dress she's got on. She's got on her princess dress. She's looking really nice. Mama gives good advice. You know, Mama's got good advice. And besides, she added, you'll be having a big rehearsal in the auditorium, and that'll help. Now, where's that brother of yours? I've got to finish his costume. I do wish he'd take this thing a little more seriously. Don't worry about him, Mama. He can do his part standing on his head. And the rehearsal did help. But an empty auditorium still wasn't the same as a live audience. See, she's saying it right there. And over here is the live auditorium, and they're getting all the parts and pieces ready, and they have their rehearsal going on, and there's Teacher Jane right there, and they're painting the sets and getting everything ready. And now, at last, the moment had come. The curtain was opening on the Bear Country School's production of Grizzly Stiltskin. And there's the curtain beginning to open, and all the people are lined up there. And there was Sister, all alone on the big stage, looking out at the whole school, and Grizzly Gramps, and Graham, and Uncle Willie, and Aunt Mim. It was a little scary, but it was also very exciting. And then she heard a loud, clear voice saying, I am the miller's daughter, and woe is me, for my father has told the king I can spin straw into gold, and in truth I cannot. And it took her a split second to realize that that voice was her. See, she's doing it because she prepared herself really well. Preparation. And she knew that she was going to be nervous, but she was able to do it anyway. She did a really good job. And from there on, everything went beautifully. There was a little rough spot near the end when it was time for Brother to do his part. He came on stage in his handsome wood bear costume, looked out at the hundreds of eyes staring on him, and completely forgot what he was supposed to say. Look at him there. What am I supposed to say? I can't remember my lines, he whispered. Why don't you try standing on your head, whispered Sister. But then she took pity on him and helped him with his lines. You see right there? She's teasing. Stand on your head, because he thought he knew it all, but he forgot his lines, which is really easy to do when you're in front of people. The play ended magnificently, with Grizzly Stiltskin flying into a fury and disappearing in a puff of smoke. The applause was long and loud. See, there's Grizzly Stiltskin disappearing. They got some special effects, and Brother and Sister are there, and everybody's watching. And here they are at the end, and all they're bowing. See, this is what you do at the end of the play. Everybody comes on stage, and they all bow, and that's really nice at the end, too. Yeah. After the show, Mama and Papa came backstage. Terrific show, said Papa. Terrific. Congratulations, said Mama, on a job well done. Piece of cake, said Sister. She figured it out, didn't she? And there's Brother looking like, yeah, a piece of cake. But he had a little trouble. There they are, the Bear family. And this is the book, The Berenstein Bears Get Stage Fright. I hope you enjoyed this. I have enjoyed reading it to you. I hope you read your own books and get a copy of this if you can. Bye-bye.